Well, CES 2019 has finally come to a close, and we have to talk about some of the things that Polaroid Originals had on display at the convention this year. But before we get into that, here on this channel we cover everything that has to do with Polaroid and instant photography. So if that's something that you're into, you should definitely consider subscribing so you don't miss a single video that I put out. If you don't know what CES is the annual trade show that happens in Las Vegas, Nevada, and it's the International Consumer Electronics Show. And pretty much everybody who's anybody shows up and they have their new items on display in the world of technology. Last year in 2018, Polaroid Originals was there, and on display they were featuring the Polaroid OneStep 2, but this year it's all about the Polaroid OneStep Plus. Just like last year, they had a giant Polaroid OneStep 2 on display, but this year it was a Polaroid OneStep Plus with a twist. This Polaroid OneStep Plus was featured in this all-white colorway. And this varies a little bit from the OneStep 2 that we saw that has a white and a black and a mint colorway. That white that's in the OneStep 2 is white, but it's only white in the front on that front plate. This Polaroid OneStep Plus that's featured in the all white is all white 360 degrees all around, as you can see right here. And although Polaroid hasn't confirmed an exact release date of the Polaroid OneStep Plus in all white, they are saying on all of their social media pages that you gotta stay tuned and it will happen sometime this year. They also had on display a wide range of their cameras going through the decades from the 70s to the 80s to the 90s. On display were SX70s and SX70 sonars. They also had Sun 600 cameras and impulses and some of the more branded cameras as well, like the Barbie and the Taz and the Hello Kitty camera as well. But it was interesting to note that they had no Polaroid Spectra cameras on display. So the Polaroid Originals booth is right next to the Polaroid Corporation booth, and this space that both of those booths are occupying, I mean, it's massive. And doing some quick research on Google and figuring out how much a space of this size costs, it's well upwards of $150,000 or more. Now I know people who are fans of the Polaroid Spectra system are just saying, if you took a fraction of that money and you invested it into getting the Polaroid Spectra right, or the film right, or reworking some of the cameras, or even releasing a new Polaroid Spectra camera, we would be so happy, we would drop to our knees and we would thank the Polaroid gods and we would just be head over heels. But they must be getting some type of return on investment to fork up that much money to occupy this much space at the world's largest technology trade show. But like always, I'm not giving up hope. My fingers are still crossed that issues with the Spectra will be worked out and that we'll get a new batch of film in either 2019 or 2020. I'm hopeful. At the Polaroid Originals booth, they were also doing demonstrations on how to do emulsion lifts with your instant photos, which is always cool. It's always cool to see a brand new way or a new way to experience your instant photos, and being able to lift that print off and put it on a piece of wood or a piece of metal or a piece of paper. So that was cool to see that as well. Last but not least, when you follow a link that Polaroid had on their social media sites as well as on their LinkedIn, which was going to give you 10% off your first purchase for being at CES, it brings you to a photo that was very interesting. It kind of caught my eye. Yes, it featured the all-white Polaroid OneStep Plus, but it also featured a Polaroid OneStep 2 that was multicolor. It was in white, but it was also in baby blue. Is Polaroid hinting that we're gonna get multicolored Polaroid OneStep 2s in the future? Who knows? I think it looks great. I think giving people the option to maybe customize their camera or do a kind of a custom build out like Nike does with their shoes would be really, really killer. It's cool to see that they're still doing new things and they're expanding the lines that they already have in place. So there you have it. That's what Polaroid Originals was up to in Las Vegas at CES this year. Make sure that you're tuned in here, because as we get updates on some of the things that I talked about in this video, I'm gonna update you. I'm gonna keep you posted so that way you're current on everything that has to do with Polaroid and instant film photography. Make sure you subscribe so you don't miss anything, and I will see you guys on the next video.